Trucker Dump for August 23rd, 2011, episode 73. Oh boy, another birthday. Yay.
Welcome to Trucker Dump, where you'll get one driver's insights and sometimes humorous views of truck driving and the trucking industry, and pretty much anything else he feels like dumping on you. This podcast is brought to you by AboutTruckDriving.com. Resources to help you understand the world of truck driving through the use of stories and a pathetic attempt at humor.
Hey there, folks. Todd McCann here. Yeah, you heard it right. Another birthday has come and gone. I wish I could say that I was thrilled about it, but I'm not. It's not that I mind turning 43. Heck, I just keep getting better looking with age. Or at least that's what the dementia is telling me anyway. No, it's just that, well, I'll let today's podcast explain it for me. So with all the enthusiasm I can muster, I give you, oh boy, another birthday. Yay. My birthday was August 19th, and this year it came up on me like the Millennium Falcon would come up on a Yugo with bad spark plugs. It passed just as quick. As usual, it was nothing special. No big party. Nothing to write home about. Although I could have, since I didn't even manage to be home on the big day. I'm a truck driver, which means I spent the day driving. Happy, happy, joy, joy. That's not at all how I'd planned it. As some of you know, I'm trying to get off the road so I can go back to school. You might ask, what's wrong with trucking? Well, trucking in generally certainly has its share of problems. For instance, as of now, no one has given me permission to yank my E-log unit off the dash, smash it with a 10-pound sledge, and take a leak on it for good measure. That's a problem in my eyes. Nor has anyone made a new rule that if a driver sits on a dock for more than 2 hours, they're allowed to walk up and kick the loader in the junk. Doesn't that sound like fun? Still, truck driving isn't all that bad. As a matter of fact, certain aspects of it rock harder than a Pantera concert. As an over-the-road trucker, I don't know the meaning of 9 to 5, other than it's an old movie about giant boobs, or something like that. I always get distracted from the storyline. In other words, there's no such thing as a set schedule. I kind of like the variety that brings. Truckers also have some of the best scenery of any job. Looking out at snow-covered mountains or a valley full of fall foliage sure as heck beats staring at a cubicle wall covered with Dilbert paraphernalia while secretly planning the perfect murder of the annoying coworker in the next cell block. Yes, being a trucker is a fine job to have, but there is also what is known as too much of a good thing. Take Skittles as an example. I love me some Skittles, but if you made me eat them every day for over 14 years, I'd show you daily how I experience the rainbow in the form of violent outbursts of colorful vomiting. Now with that being said, here's why this birthday sucked more than a big rig sucks fuel. I wasn't supposed to be out here on the road for this birthday. You see, the evil overlord's college courses, that's my wife and ex-co-driver, started back up today and I was supposed to be beside her to make her look good. Okay, maybe that's the other way around. Yet here I am, still in the truck. Back at the beginning of the year, my plans were to quit my current job a couple of weeks before school started. That meant I'd be at home for my birthday and in time to get settled in for classes. I was still holding out for a miracle, as evidenced by the fact that I didn't drop the classes I had booked until a week before school. I kept hoping something would happen that would get me out of trucking for good. It didn't. You know, with my proposed schedule consisting of trigonometry, calculus 1, chemistry 1, and zoology, you'd think I'd be happy to be driving instead of studying. Yet sadly, I'm not. I'd much rather be at home tonight, mumbling under my breath about what I'd gotten myself into. If I'm honest with myself, I could have guessed I wasn't going to make it. We haven't been paying off debt as fast as we had planned. For one thing, I haven't been making the same kind of money that I used to. I blame some of that on E-logs. There are other causes too, but I think I'll blame the rest of them on E-logs too, simply because I can. I also had an unexpected hospital bill pop up. But perhaps most of all, the evil overlord has had our 3 nephews and their bottomless pit stomachs most of the summer. How the heck do you people afford kids? We didn't really choose this, we kind of had to do it. Their mom and dad just got separated, and it was best to remove the brats from the situation. But that's over now. Much to their chagrin, the little dorks are back at school and are now back with their parents. Well, one at a time anyway. That means that we started to crack down on the bills again. Once again, I've set a goal to start school in the spring. Still, I'll have to admit that I was still a bit skeptical whether we were going to be able to pull this off by then. But perhaps my fears were unwarranted. To my utter surprise and delight, the evil overlord has decided that if the bills aren't completely paid off by spring, she still wants me to come off the road. She figures that at some point, you just have to dive off the cliff and hope you don't lose your Speedo when you hit the water. I've been thinking the same thing lately. Now, I know some of you are thinking that it's irresponsible to quit a good-paying job when you've got debt, especially in this job market. I know where you're coming from. Heck, that feeling is exactly why I'm sitting here in this truck right now. Never you fear, though. I'm not throwing all caution to the wind. I'd never quit this job until I had another one lined up. After much discussion, it's been decided that if we still have a lot of debt come springtime, I'll just get a local job doing whatever makes the most money. If that's working on an assembly line, fine. It's nothing I haven't done before. Shipping receiving job? Been there, done that. Even if it's a local driving job, that's dandy too. At least I'll be at home more often and I'll feel like I have a place in the evil overlord's world. Granted, we all know I've made plans like this before, and look where that's gotten me. I've had 2 similar school deadlines come and go, and I'm still looking at 11 hours of driving tomorrow. So who knows? Maybe I'll be out of trucking by Christmas. Maybe I won't. Until then, I'm going to try to act like these are my last few months on the road while I keep working to make it a reality. I'm going to try to keep a more positive outlook on life. Yeah, I know what you're thinking again. I said I'm going to try. Try! No guarantees. After all, it's kind of hard to keep a cheery attitude when your low-budget diet consists of tuna salad, peanut butter, and canned soup. Maybe the occasional bag of Skittles would help.
Hey, yo, bud, where do you want this load of feedback?
Well, once again, I was a little let down by this. I was really expecting a lot of responses on the podcast called Big Rig MacGyvering. I mean, every trucker fixes his truck in some kind of weird way. I was hoping to hear them all. Instead, I just got 3 comments, all from non-truckers. What's up with that? Anyway, thanks to you who did write in. Lisa Nowak wrote in and said, I'm sure my husband could swap all sorts of stories with you. It drives him nuts to hear a squeak or a rattle in a car when we're going down the road. Mostly I don't notice them unless they're really obnoxious or someone points them out to me. Well, Lisa, if he's such a rigging expert, we should all benefit from his knowledge. You should get your man to write in so we can share his knowledge with everybody. Rose L. says, I so enjoy reading your articles. You're rather witty. When we used to do a lot of camping, I found bubble wrap, rubber bands, cotton balls, and erasers to be helpful in various incidents. We discovered that styrofoam is not good to use as it squeaks worse than any original squeak. She says also, Lisa Nowak is a friend of mine. Well, Lisa's a friend of mine too, so glad to have you on here, Rose. And ooh, bubble wrap, the toy for boys of all ages. I may have to stock up on some of that. And lastly, FL Trucker's wife writes in and says, I've heard duct tape is also an excellent babysitter. Oh, and sorry about your drawers. Sounds like a personal problem to me. Wink. Oh, that's funny. And that's an awesome use of duct tape. I guess it takes a parent to think of that one. All right, smarty pants. I guess I should have been more clear about my drawers. I wouldn't want anyone thinking I was using a bungee cord as a belt. My name ain't Jethro Bodine. All right, you guys. Thanks for writing in, those of you who did. For those of you who didn't, if you've still got ideas and want to share your ideas about Big Rig MacGyvering or any other podcast in the past, just go ahead and send them to me and we'll get them in one of the next podcasts. We can always go back. I guess I should have mentioned that before. You can write on any of these old podcasts, and that's fine. Just write in, email me, and if it's a good comment, we'll go ahead and throw it in. It doesn't have to be about the last podcast. It could be one about a year ago. That's fine. If I see it and it's good, we'll go ahead and read it on the current podcast. So here's how you can leave your comments. Okay, now, folks, I fully expect many of you to want to comment about the fact that I've been saying I'm going to get off the road, but I never do. Bring it on. I can take it. You can leave your comments by going to abouttruckdriving.com, typing birthday into the nifty search bar, finding the title, and leaving your insults in the comments section. Or if you'd prefer, I also accept ridicule at truckerdump@gmail.com or on Twitter, where I'm at Todd McCann. That's 2 D's, 2 C's, and 2 N's. While you're feeling snarky, why don't you head on over to iTunes and leave a review of the podcast? Constructive criticism is always welcome. Thanks. So until next time, drive safe, stay out of my way.